Hello. 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 I don't know, the system is not working. Hello. Phone is there. Best of luck. Nobody. Yeah. So very good afternoon, you all, and welcome you to this video lecture. I want to know whether this video is visible to you. Some of you please respond. I unmute you all. Is it audible? Yeah, there is no response from the students. So is it audible to all of you? Can you see this video? Any of one respond, please? Okay. So Saturday we have a class. We had a class, but I did not find any single student there. But I already recorded that one and already shared that one also. I request you to go through that one, and you can check it in. Already I have sent it in the binder. The link I have given. It is available on the YouTube. First half minute maybe some trouble is there in the recording, but it is around 35 minutes video. It is nicely explained how to write the DTD program and how to go for the validation of that one. Okay, guys. So now we can proceed, and I think very few people are attending. So remember, this is horrible for you. These are the regular class is not possible, and even if it is online classes, none of you are attending. Only I'll report to the principal. Only 28 students out of around 100 plus students are attending the classes. You try to remember that this is all recorded. How many people are attending? These all are recorded. Accordingly, you will get the internal mark, and most probably there will be no final exam based on your internal performance. Only marks will be awarded. So you will be solely responsible for the D grade, E grade, and F grade you get. Okay, the faculty or the institution is nowhere responsible because it is purely based on your attendance. It is purely based on your performance online. So that will be given there. But I clearly see there is 28 candidates are attending. So the same thing it is recorded. Don't think that nobody is worried about that one. Everything is recorded. How many people are attending these classes? Clear? So now we proceed to our things. Now I want to show you some files. Now I go to directly to the student folder in the student XML. Okay, in the student XML, you can see I am writing an XML that is related to the student. Okay, so my root element is student, and under this I am creating a number of child elements like S. S is for the student, or you can write students and student, but I have written S in shortcut. So name I have given Tanmay, the branch I have given CSE, age I have given something, city I have given Amlapuram. Like that, I created another S that is name is equal to Jaibir branch. So like that, randomly I have second time taken some data. So in the first line, you clearly see this is the starting of this XML program with the less than question mark and the XML. This is the starting of this XML, and version is equal to 1. And the encoding, previously we are not writing. It is a good practice writing the encoding that is you are using under double quotation UTF-8. So it is not mandatory, but it is a good practice to write it. Okay. So then the question mark and end this tag. Then it is also mandatory that you have to write the style sheet what you are using, because without the style sheet most probably you won't get the display there. So what I have written question mark XML hyphen style sheet. It is just like the cascading style sheet you are using. Your type is equal to your you have to write under double quotation text slash XSL. So here what I am writing all of the text, but I am attaching some Excel sheet. That is the reason I am writing text slash XSL. If you are using DTD, then you can write text slash DTD. Okay. So this is a good practice. Then H reference. What is the XSL file I am giving? That is student.xsl. So this is the rule and this is the syntax for that one. That I will show another file what I have written student.xsl. I can say this is the external SSL file I am writing. So this reference, that reference will be taken here. That means what the XML file I am writing it here, the same XSL sheet is the what is the rules are written there. Same thing will be mapped here, and you will be able to see the output. Okay. Now you come to our root element. Our root element is student, and under this root element student, we are having number of students like S1, S2. S1, S2 I have not written, but the instance I have given A stand for the first students, again S and closing triangle is second students. Like that, we are having a number of students here. Okay. So now, then I close the S here and close the student here. So this is damn easy because you are not applying any brain here. Only first two lines you have to remember. And first line by default, whenever you want to attempt something on XML, less than question mark XML, that is the XML tag, and version is got 1.0, that is no other version available now, that is under double quotations, it is a name pair value, and encoding is also, that is UTF-8, because there are so many number of encoding are available, but here in India and especially for these systems, we are using UTF-8. So there is no confusion on these things. So this is the default things you have to remember. And I think what is it, remember that one or two times you write also, you will automatically remember all things. Then for the XML style sheet, the tag is there, and there is no closing tag for this thing also. You see, this is just like the XML you are writing a single tag, like that also writing question mark XML style sheet, type is equal to under double quotation text slash XSL. Then the H reference, because you see there is no comma in between. See, type something, then pair value, then space, H reference. That is also something I am writing it here. Okay. So I think this is the wrong thing. H reference, you this is I think I have done a mistake here. There is no need to write this one. Okay. Yeah. So now this is the thing. Now I am going to show you the student.xsl. Okay. In the student.xsl, this is just like the cascading style sheet. I'll explain one by one. Here also you write to the same thing, less than question mark XML version is equal to 1.0. You are encoding the same thing. For the XSL style sheet, here also the version is equal to 1.0. Here I am using a namespace. Okay. So this is the XML because the same student I am writing several times, table I will be writing several times. So there will be a confusion. That's why I am using this XML namespace, that is stand for XML NS. NS stand for namespace colon XSL. Here, this is the default. It is provided by the W3 World Wide Web. So this reference is already available. Just I copied and put it there. Then I am trying to put a template for that one. So I am writing XSL colon template. See, so my thing start with the XSL style sheet and XSL template. Okay, at the end, if you see it here, I am closing with the one is the XSL style sheet because I started with the XSL style sheet. I am closing with the XSL style sheet. Then I started with the XML template. I am closing with the XSL template. Then inside the XSL template, I am writing the HTML because my purpose is that what is the XML I am writing? I am writing a rule, it will be converted to the your HTML. Okay. Now, then in the template, it will match the root. Your just slash means it will the what is the root element where it starts, it will follow there, and it will check, and the same thing it will take it here. Okay. Now it is a purely HTML, and you put body and H1 align center and students. This is the things should be there in the H1. That means in the center it should display it is a students basic details. Okay. And then table border is equal to 1, align is equal to center. Then you know how to create table. There are two type of things are there. One the table row, opening tag TR and closing tag TR. So in the that means first row I created. So this first row what I'm creating, that is the table heading TH. So there I will be having the attributes like name, branch, age and city. Okay. Then for selecting all the things, what you need to do, you need to write another tag that is less than XSL for each. So this is the thing, and select which is equal to student. That's That means the root element is student and the child element are s. From that you select all the things. What you are going to select? So td in the table data in the table row, XSL value of what? The name. What is the name there? The same name you have to put it here. And what is the value of branch? The same thing you are put it here. And what is the value of age? You put it there. And what is the value of city? You put it there. So how many times you want the same thing? You can put it here. And then you close your TR because I created the first row, that is the just like the heading. Second row is the table data. Then I close this XSL for each and close the table, close the board body and all things. Okay. So this is the two programs I have written. One is for the student.xml, another is the student.xsl. So now let us see here for the validations. So now for validations, what I told you that you need to go for one of the validation. I have a validator software and I already shown you that day. So what you need to do? Yeah, yeah, I can. Yeah, if you like, you can take this side also because it is making inconvenient to us. Okay, we have the XML validator here. Just I double click here, the validation here. Okay, so it is opening. Now we were using, what is the file you are using? We are, so you can say no or cancel. I am not opening that one. First, now I am going for this file or open this file. Then I am going for the student. Okay, student, two things are there in the student XML file and the student DTD file. So two different files are there. One is the student one and students, but I am concerned about the student XML file here, not students. So open. Okay, so this is my file, it is there, and I'm trying to validate this one. I validated. Okay, here no schema reference found in the, see, I have not written the DTD file for this one. That is the reason it is showing for XML. For the schema reference already I have given student.xsl. Mm, but anyway, we don't have any error. We don't have any error. It is showing only one warning, so it will learn. We don't have any problem. Similarly, I go for opening this XSL file also. I go for my student dot XSL. Yeah, I go for this student dot XSL open. Okay, so here also there. Also, I am trying to mm, run this. Similarly, some warning is there. There is no, we don't have any problem with these things. Okay, so both are there. Now let us run this program. Okay, how do I run this program? For running this program, I go to my folder. I go to this student.xml. I think this is the thing. Double click that. So you can see there is a little problem there. You are not getting the table, but the data will fit. The first name is Tanmay. The branch is CSE. Age is 20 and city is Amlapuram. Second, Jaibir CSE. I will show another program where we can show all the things in a tabular form. Okay. Now till now, you are unable to see the data because what you are writing the XML program and you are writing the DTD program. It is only validating. That means what is the format it is correct, what is the content it is correct. But we are unable to see the content. But here we are able to see. For this, what we have done, we have to write one XSL file sheet there, and we have to give a reference for that one. Actually, I have not written the DTD file for this one. You can write the DTD file because now you are acquainted with writing the DTD file. But anyway, I will show you one or two program on this DTD. Now, for the time being, I close this one. Okay. Now, I go to one more file that I go for catalog one. Okay. So in this catalog one, just right click. Yeah, you open with the Sublime text. Yeah. So you see, this is the thing I'm writing. You can see this catalog one dot XML. Okay, this is the XML file. So I told you that in Amazon or anything, you can find a number of things like book, the CD, the DVD, electronics things, toys, number of books, all things you can get it there. I am only in this catalog. I am only concerned about the CDs. What are the different type of CDs available? What are the title? What is the artist? What is the country? What are the companies, what is the price, what is the year of release, all the things only is my concern. And I have given you one assignment to you all. It's happy, there are 32 students, but still I'm unhappy because there are more than 100 students are there, only 31 people are attending. So it is your responsibility to intimate others, otherwise they will be in trouble. So now I have given you an assignment. You remember, you go for the cricket score in my video lectures, because how many of you are watching that video lectures I do not know also, because there is no view, there is no subscribe, there is no like, nothing is there. You don't like also, you like dislike, that's not an issue. But the thing that at least go through. It is not that I'm doing some drama there and some telling stories. These are purely related to exam questions, and instead of telling you story there, I am just writing this program first, I am running it, and what the programmer running only I am showing to you. I am not showing you the PowerPoint presentation and just like other faculty. Okay, just I am not showing for you. What I execute, that only I am teaching you. What I don't execute, I never show to you. Okay, so be careful for these things, and it will be difficult for you. For the book you will be referring, these things will not be available in so clarity. Okay, everybody will be in trouble. And the JNTU is directly asking direct questions. That means you write a program for the cricket score. So there will be, because cricket score is not available in the textbook, so you cannot write anything. So if you understand the principle, the procedure, then only you will be able to write. Okay. So then I'll tell you some tips how to do that one. The next, then catalog. What is the given? I have given. This is the catalog XML. Now I am going for showing you the catalog.xsl sheet for you. So you go for this catalog XSL. So right click here. Then you open with the Sublime Text. You can see it here. See, how do you justify all these things in our XSL? The same thing, the less than question mark XML version is equal to 1, encoding is equal to UTF-8, and XSL style sheet version is equal to 1. And this is the default, it is given by the W3 school, just I copied and pasted, I have nothing to do anything. Then XSL template into match, that means it is immediately searching what is the root element, and from that root element, what is there, that is converting to HTML. Okay. Then I start the HTML, then I start the body. Here I'm writing the musing collection, that is the main thing, it will be header one, it will be there. Then I'm using table with border one, and T arrow, the first row, the background color I'm writing something, maybe green, some other color, I don't remember what is the color. I will show you the output, you can see the color. Then the TH, you can see the title, artist, country, company, price and year. The TR is closed. Now for selecting this data from this XML, you have to use this tag XSLN colon for hyphen each, select catalog /cd under double quotations, close it. Then you click the TR. For each data you are entering it here, XSL value of select from title, select from artist, select from country, select from company, select all from price, year and all things. Then close TR, close XSL for each, close table, close body, close HTML, close XSL template, close XSL style sheet. Okay. So you can also go for the validation of all the things. So there is nothing, only some maybe there will be no error, but some warning it may show. Don't worry for this warning, because warning has nothing to do with our program, it cannot stop. So now I run this program. Now we'll be happy to see the output here. Can you see the output? Yeah. So you can see the nice output here. So what is the data you have written there? It is appearing in the form of access, you're just like HTML table. Now previously I have given you the impression that XML you are using only presentation purpose. You are using only for presentation purpose. But what I am using, sorry, it is used for only your storage as well as the communication. But it is I am using for presentation here. I am presenting you. What I am presenting, I am writing the title. The you can write the title is Bahubali 3. Artist is what is his name? Bahubali, who is the person? Mahesh Bhatt. Kadapa. So like that, what is the country? India. The company something, you write it there. Price is got 100 rupees. It is dollar in dollar. So the year is 2020. So whatever the data you want to be displayed, you provide it there, and same thing it will be displayed here. Now you try to understand. We have created an XML sheet, and we can write the DTD for that one, for creating the rules and other things. And for displaying, you write the XSL sheet, and I have explained the XSL sheet. In the XSL sheet, it is the thing is that first you provide a table for the display of all the things. So it will be displayed in a tabular form. In a table, there are the table rows. In the table row, first of all, will be the table header and the table data. So I have used all the things. You see, I have used only one table data, but it has taken all. What I have written there? So what is the value for the title? You put it here. There are how many values you will collect, and one by one you put it there. Then how many artists are there also? So there you put it there. And what are the country for this particular title? You write it here. And what are the company also? Write it here. What is the price? Because it is the things will be done usually in the Amazon. So there are different countries, but in India, whatever the cities, all is in India. So you can write it all the in India, and the company, write one company, whatever the company, okay, price 100 rupees, 200 rupees, whatever the price also you write it, okay, and the year of release also you can write. Now you have I'm happy there are 37 students are reporting good, but you see that more number of people are joining, otherwise people will be in trouble, okay. So I have given the assignment. Again I am telling you the same assignment to you now. You go for creating a XML for the cricket score, because all of you are very fond of cricket. I know you are all fan of Sachin Tendulkar, or who are the other people, maybe what is the, who is the players now? Dhoni is not playing now. Oh, Kohli. Okay. So I want you have to write the cricket score. There you can write cricket. So what will be the your root element will be the cricket score, and there can be a number of cricketer. So you can write cricket plus. You cannot use star, because without a cricket player there will be no cricket score. Okay. So it will be either one or many. For one or many means n, you have to use only plus sign. You never use the star sign. Star sign means 0. So with the 0%, there will be no cricket team, there will be no score. Okay. So then you can use inside the cricket, you can use the child elements like player. Then you can have a number of player. So under this player tag, you can have the player name. You can have the score. We can have the wicket. All the things what you know about cricket, you write it. I have no problem with that one. Then you write another player. So like that, all the things you can write it there and close this cricket score. So this is easy for writing the XML. Now I am giving you assignment to write the DTD program for that one, and also to write the XSLC for that one. So what you have to do, the DTD program will tell the rules to the browser. Yes, what the software engineer has written the program, it is validated, it is justified, then XSLC will be used for displaying just like the HTML. Okay. So this is the thing you have to do, and this is the assignment number 1. You remember who will be submitting the assignment. I don't want anything. You have to write this assignment in a piece of paper. Okay, I don't want any copy pasting, and you scan it and you attach to my email ID, that is hodcsc.bbce@bbcgroup.in. Okay, so what will be there? There must be your registration number first. The next will be your name. Third one will be assignment number 1. The date will be there. And remember, today the date is 25, and I need this assignment completed by 30th. And who failed to submit by 30th, I will not accept. If you submit also, it is useless. So what is the assignment? Who submit the assignment, I will put it 10 marks, because it will be mapped to 5 marks afterwards. Who submit the assignment and correctly, it will be assigned 10 marks. Who submit the assignment with some mistake, still it will be given 8 to 9 marks. And who failed to submit, it will be put at absent, and marks will be 0. I don't consider if most of the people or all people get 0 also, I have nothing to do, because I don't to give you mark. I want you to score marks. So even if you score 8 marks, it is great for you. Even if you score 10 marks, it is excellent for you. But without attending, I won't give you 0 mark or minus mark to you also. It is clear. There is no confusion, no discussion on that one. Okay. So whatever the situation may be, you communicate to them. 30th is the last date for submission of assignment 1. It can be 2 pages maximum. 1 page is writing the XML and DTD. 1 page will be for writing the XSL. This is enough. Even if you write it compactly in small letters, 1 page is just enough. Your roll number is a must. Your name is a must. Assignment is a must. You write it for CSE, those things also you can write it. And subject name you can write web technology. And these are the things we are covering under unit 2. So this is unit 2 assignment I have given. Unit 1, lot of assignment I have given, but you have not done that. I excuse. But unit 2, there is no excuse, because in the client server technology, what are the communications from the client to the server to the client, it will be done purely using this XML. So each and every computer student who thinks or claims as a computer student, he must be conversant with the XML, DTD and XSL. Otherwise, goodbye. You can take admission in any of the ITI available in any of the trade. Okay, you are no more wanted as a CSE students. Okay, thank you. Just take it as a warning also, and take it as a appeal from my side and request from my side. Now we are going to show you some other programs here. Now I go for a small program, that is the students. Okay, so you have seen the program student. Now I am going to student one. Okay, in the student one, I have written the XML and DTD. Now you can say, sir, we are already in XSL. Why you are showing the DTD? Is DTD the basic things you know? DTD only the basic things you know. So I will show you some advanced things. Okay. Now come to the XML file in the student one. So I right click this program and open the Sublime editor. Here I am showing you minutely observe. I am using a DTD. What type of DTD it is? Anybody can tell me? Is it internal or external? Some of you please respond. What type of DTD I am using it here now? What type of DTD I am using? Any of the students? Students are visible to me. I do not know anybody listening me. The students are not visible to me. Any students are not responding? I do not know. Okay, so no issue. Ignore. So okay, I am using the external DTD. I think if you are listening, please respond, because I don't know, there is no thing whether you are listening or not. But as you are not responding, I think that everybody is listening or nobody is listening. So both the cases I am helpless, because I don't have any information you are listening or not, or at least you write some message to me. So now I am explaining this one, the doc type, the students. Why I am using these things? You can ask me one thing, sir. It is a DTD program and it is a XML program. You are not writing the XML. You can write it here. No, it stops you. Okay. So enter. So what is the things you write it for XML program? So less than. Okay. You tell me. Then the question mark. Okay. Then you write the XML. Okay. You write the XML. Okay. So then, yeah, tell me. Some of you please tell me what is the things you are writing for this XML program. Uh, yeah, tell me. Some of you employees. So employees also they are not there. Here also it is there. That it is not there. Employee that it is not there. That XML in there. But usually people are not writing. You can write it. You see, make it a good habit of writing that one. So I open any of these things. For first I go for the books.xml. You can see, yeah, XML version is equal to 1. At least this much you can write. Okay, XML version is equal to 1. This is the minimum things you need to write. Okay, so encoding you can write. You may not write. That is optional, but this is mandatory. You need to write. Okay, so I'm writing. I was showing you. I think the when I was showing you. I was showing you the student one. I think, yeah, student one, student one. Sorry, I was showing student one. This one you open with the Sublime. Yeah, XML. Then you have to write version, version which is equal to, it is under double quotation, it is 1.0. This is the minimum things you are supposed to write. You can write the encoding, you don't write. You can also write encoding. Okay, if you want to write encoding, then you type it here, space encoding. Yeah, encoding which is equal to, under double quotation. Yeah, under double quotations, what you write? Yes, capital letter U T F hyphen 8. Okay, so this is the encoding. Let's repeating the same thing. Then I'm using the doc type students, and here I'm using a private, and for that I am using system. And what is the DTD I am using? Student 1.DTD is external. Already the DTD is there, I will show you. So try to understand. Then what is the students here? The students here, what I am using, this is the root element. What is the students here? It is the root element. What is the system here in capital letter? It means that what the DTD is using, it is private. If it is public, instead of system, you have to write public in capital letter. And what is the DTD file name? That must be under double quotation. That is student1.dtd, and this file name is student1.xml. Clear? Now we go to our root element. What is our root element? I already declared the root element here, students. So students is my root element. Inside the students, there are other child elements like student. So you can write student. Yes, you tell me whether you write a star, or whether you write a plus, or whether you write a question mark. Can you write a star? Star means it can be zero also. Can you have a class with 0 students? No, you cannot write. Okay, so you can write plus at least. So at least one student is there, or more student is there. Or if you write star, that means there can be 0 students, or there can be n number. Then that is not infinite digit. N means it's a finite number, 102, 106, like that. Okay, so then now under the students, the root element, this is my child element. How many child elements there? There are at least 1, 2, 3 child elements are there. There are 3 child elements there. You can say, sir, you started the students element and closed the students element here. But you started student child element. You have not closed. Yes, I have closed, because when we are using the opening tag and closing tag at the same time, there is no need to go for the closing student tag. Just at the end, put the forward slash and end it. It meaning is like this. You start the student close it here, then 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 you use the closing student tag. Okay, it is a similar manner, but it is a good practice. So you write it like this. Okay, so at the end you put it slash and greater than. So this is the student started and ended here. Similarly, student, see, if you compare those two lines, there is a difference. What is the difference? Anybody can tell me? Here I am writing student ID is there, student course is there, student fee is there. But here I am writing student ID and student name. Initially student name was not there, I am writing. Initially student course and student fee is there, I am not writing. Then how it will accept? Okay, then third one I am writing student ID is there, student course is there, student fee is there, but student name is there. That means if you remember the structure and union, see what you are writing, the different data type and different attributes, how you put it in one. Similar things I'm trying to do it here. Okay, so this is the thing I have written. Which program this is? This is the students one, the student1.xml. Okay, student1.xml. Then if this is the XML file, then once you start writing the DTD file, then things will be clear. Now I go to my XML folder inside the directory. Then I go to student1.dtd. So this is the document type. Can you see? XML DTD document type definition. Can you see? Yes. So now I click the student one, right click and open with the Sublime Text. Now you see what I told you, that for declaring any element, first you write less than and exclamatory sign. This is used for declaring any element. Then what you are declaring? I am declaring an element, so I am writing element. If I have to declare attribute list, then you have to write ATT LIST. If you are going to declare entity, then you have to write exclamatory entity. So there are different elements. Whenever you are using element, so you write the element. When you are using attribute list, you use attribute list. When you are using entity, you write entity. Similarly, what are the things are? And remember, these are case sensitive XML, and whatever things you are writing exclamatory element or attribute list or entity, this must be in a capital letter. If you write in lowercase, there will be some syntax error and the program will not run. It will not show warning, it will show errors. Okay, then what is my root element? My root element is students. If you remember, my students. How many students will be there? I told you that for a class to conduct, there must be at least one student or n number of students. That means our 106 students. So I'm writing student plus. Can you write student star? No. Why? When there is no students, I will never conduct a class. I will never take a class. Saturday happened the same thing. Okay. So to have what is the student now here? This is the root element is students. Students is the root element. Then what is the student plus here? The student is the child element. How many child element are there? There are either one or more than one. There can be n number of students there. So for that I have written the element. Then I am going for declaring element. I am going to the student. What I have written inside the content model. I am writing student plus. That I am writing the students. I am writing empty. How many types are there? You are having 5 types. How many types you are having? You are having 5 types. What are they? One is yes, tell me. One is data only. Second is child only. Third one is empty. Fourth one is any. So like that you are having 5. Okay. I am using empty. Why I am using empty? If I am using empty, then any type of data and any type of things I can take it here. There is no restriction. But if you are writing all the things detail separated by comma, that means if you are writing first student inside a brace, student ID, comma student name, comma student course, comma student fee, then for each and every case you have to provide data, otherwise it will show you error. You understand? So this is the case of whether it is mandatory, whether it is optional, whether it is fixed or by the default. That I'll tell you. Don't worry at this moment. What I am telling you that now in the child element students, I am using it empty. That means I am not fixing any type here. That means I am not going for anything. I can put it here. I am putting it empty. Then for this, I am providing the attribute list. So for attribute list, I have told you that we start with less than exclamatory ATT list. Attribute, don't write attribute full. ATT stands for the attribute. LIST attribute list. For what? The element, it is not the root element, it is for this element students, because the root element is students. You cannot write for students. For the student, I am using the student. Then what is the syntax? Syntax is attribute list, then name of the element, then name of the attribute, then the data type. Okay, then is the specifier. This is the syntax. Remember, first one is the declaration, second one is the element, third one is the element name, fourth one is the data type, and the fifth one is the specifier. What is the specifier? I will explain you. So now let us try to understand the first one. I declare the attribute list. I am having 4 attributes. What are they? Because my element is fixed, my element name is student. Student, not students. My element name is student. The student is contained in the root element, that is students. Okay. Inside the root element students, I am having a number of students. For each and every student, I have the attribute. That attribute list is, the first one is the student ID, second one is the student name, third one is the student course, and the fourth one is the student fee. But you can raise a question here. There are 4 attributes are here, but in XML, some cases you provided data, some cases you have not provided data. Then how the program run, how the output is coming, that I'm going to explain. You see, when it is mandatory to provide the data, after the data type you provide has required. Has required means it is mandatory. You have to provide the student ID everywhere. It is the primary key. Just like you are using in a database. So student ID is a mandatory. Name you may not provide, but student ID is mandatory. Suppose student name is optional. You may provide, you may not provide. Suppose the lateral entry students, I don't remember his name. So then in that case, after the data type, you have to has implied. Remember, whether it is required, whether it is implied, whether it is fixed. Okay. So whether it is the default. In the case of default, I provided this default. You know it, right? That default. Just you provide a default value. So if nothing is there, it will come Java. What is the meaning of that one? Suppose attribute list and the attribute sorry, the student and student course and data type is C data. So we have declared C. Okay, I am writing C. Suppose I am not writing C there, I am keeping it blank. So by default it will take Java. By default it will take Java. So by default there must be something. If the author or if the programmer forgot to enter any student course, by default the course will be Java. That I am putting under this double quotations. Okay. So first one is the fixed data. Sorry, first one is the mandatory data. Second one is the optional data. Third one I have given a third one I have the default data, and the fourth one I am using fixed. So this data is fixed. You cannot change it. That means if the student fee is decided it is 1,000 rupees, you cannot make one student have to pay 500 rupees. One student is my friend will pay 100 rupees, and it is not like that. The student's fee is a fixed one. It is 1 lakh, it is 50,000, it is 80,000. What is the amount you put it there? I am writing 1,000 only. Okay, but let it be $1,000. Okay, you no problem you are having now. So now the C data and has fixed is 1,000. It is clear. So what I have given you, I have given an XML program. I have written the DTD program. Now I am going to validate. How I am going to validate? Okay, let us see. I am going to validate. Okay. Yes, good. 40 students are there. So now go to here. So what is your file name? My file name is student1.dtd. Okay. So please go for the file. What is the file name here? It is student. No, I am not interested for student already over. So I open this student one. Where is the student one? Yeah, it is here. Student one.dtd. Okay, I click it here and open it here. So whatever. Yes, any doubt is there? You got any doubt? Anybody? Okay, if it's no doubt, we are continuing. But one student left. There are out of 40, 39 students are there. I'm monitoring it here. Now, what is the data we have written it here? Okay, that is for the DTD file. Element student plus. Okay, whether it is correct or not, we have to verify. Okay, now, so I click one, right click this one, clear all the results. Then I go for the validation pressing F8. What is the output? You can see it here. The file is valid. Which file? Under C drive XML folder student1.dtd. This file is a valid file. Okay. So now I'm going to check my student1.xml file. Where I get it? You go to the open here in this validator. You go to the student1.xml. You can check it here. Yeah, it is student1.xml file is here. Okay, the student one is the data. Okay, so okay, then open. Okay, so now sorry, open. Okay, so this is your XML file. This is your XML file. Okay, what is the course is? It has put it here. The student course is C. If you don't put any course, then it should come Java, because by default I have provided Java. Student 3,000 and all things like that. Okay, now let us try to run this program. Oh, sorry. So okay, that there. So let me check. I click it here. Then sorry, not here. I click it here. Then right click and clear the results. Then I press F8 to check it whether my file is valid. Yes, student1.xml. This file is valid. You can see C folder, C drive, XML folder, student1.xml file. It is a valid file. Okay. Now both the files are valid. I can run and I can save the output. Okay. What I have to check? Double click it here. It will there. So now Tanmay can ask one question. Sir, I don't see the content. You cannot see the content without any XSL file. So if you want to see the content of these things, you have to do the similar manner of what I have written the XSL file and you have to attach. Okay, then only you will be able to see this one. Otherwise, this is okay. Okay, but you don't see the DTD. Only it is showing a reference student1.dtd. So your student fee 1,000, student course is equal to C, student ID is equal to 101, your student ID is equal to 10. You see all the cases student ID is there, and you see there is no strict rule. Student ID should be first, even if Initially student ID was there, but here I am writing student ID last, here I am writing student ID first, here I am writing last. I am not putting order. How it is possible? Because I have written empty. If you are using this separated by comma, you have to provide all these things in proper order. Otherwise, it will show error. You never get this type of output. You can take it as an assignment and you try yourself. I cannot do it here now. So, okay. So, this is the thing we have covered and I have shown you. Then let us see another couple of programs. If time permits, you can see. I think the payment I have already shown you. Catalog I have already shown you. Then there is a way how we can convert this into the HTML. So this is the program which is converted to catalog 1. So online you can upload this XSL program, the XML program, and just click it, it will be converted to this one. So if I click this catalog1.html program, this is your program. Is done. Okay, in one more class, because now 5 minutes is there, I cannot show you that here now, and net is also slow. So how to? I have not done this program. I have not written this HTML program. Remember, this HTML program is not written by me. It is done by the online software. It just converted my XML file and XSL file what I provided. It just converted to the HTML file that I copied and pasted it there. So just to imagine how things become easy. Previously, you are writing C program, Java program, this program, that program. A program is required, compiling is required, running is required. What you are doing it here? So it is only for safety purpose. You are just going for validation. You are going for a validation. That's enough. Okay. Now there are online software. It will convert your XML into XSL. You need not do all the things. It will convert your XML program to the HTML program also. You get it now? So in the client server technology, what the request we are sending from the client to the server, what the response the server is sending to you, nobody is doing it manually. Nobody is writing a HTML program for you, and if they write also within 1 second, it will be written and compiled and sent to you. It is not possible. The server automatically doing, you are getting, see, you are clicking something query that is going to the server, and server is sending one response. Who is writing a program for you there? Nobody is writing. It is the server automatically writing that one, sending to you. How it is done? How your external program 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 7 times. The time consumed, it is because of your internet, and it is because of your bandwidth and your hardware and software. It is not for this software. Okay. So in that way, it is nice. A small appeal to all the third year students, to all the final year students. It is a practice for all the students to go for a magazine release. So magazine release is a costly affair nowadays. Last time I have given the soft copies, but it is odd thing. I am giving this response to some of the students. It is not compulsory for all of you, but who are interested for this magazine, because you will be planning for a farewell function for your final year. That time there will be a magazine release. The final years who want the magazine, they have to pay around 300 rupees extra, because the cost of the magazine it is around 250 to 300 rupees. Department has nothing to do with your money. Some of the students has to do. I will provide you, but I am appealing you to write some article, technical article, or your achievement, anything, one pages. You Tanmay or Jaibir or some of the class in charges with that where there. Some of you please collect all the articles. How many students want to give this article and all things? A technical article or a story on a poem or art or anything, latest things in the internet or the software. 1 or 2 pages you can write it, but one student is allowed only one article or one poem, more than one not possible. So you, who the students are, because it will be hard copy available with you. What is your performance? What is your achievement? What is your results? What is the toppers? All the things it is recorded with the photos and all things. So who are interested, they can collect. I want only to write. Nobody is interested. Still, I'm happy, because nobody will be getting any magazine. Okay. So it is not mandatory. It is implied, has implied. That means it is optional. But who are interested, they have to. But submitting a article, it is, you can submit it. There is no restriction. Even if you don't pay, also you can submit. But article should be good. I'll check it. I scrutinize. If it is good, I'll publish. If it is not good, I'll just reject. There is no discussion on that one. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. This video will be available in the YouTube. What I'm telling you that because it is just around 900 views are there, at least 1000 views and 40 subscribers should be there for a minimum things. 38 or 39 viewers, subscribers are there. I'm requesting the final year students, our students, please subscribe, because in addition to this web technology, I am also sharing a number of other videos that you can receive periodically and in time also. Because all the times I will not be sending through this one. That means through via your no app, because once you pass out, I will be unable to send any message to you through this app binder. But if you subscribe any video anywhere, you will be getting all these videos on the latest technology, and I will not be sharing any bullshit things. I will be sharing only technical things with you. So I appeal to you, please subscribe, like or dislike your choice. But if you all these things, it is important, and who failed to attend these classes, it is mandatory for them. Remember, because I will be testing you on the base of assignments. Fail to submit the assignments, because now you can understand university exam, it is very difficult to conduct nowadays. All your marks will be decided based on your internal attendance, your assignment, with exams. If you think that without this you can pass, then goodbye. Only God can help you. I cannot help you as the head of the CS department. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye. Ticket has been rounded up.